Hello, everybody. Zongets 134 here.
And I'm Average Joe Squad as always.
And welcome to another episode of Hyphenated Reviews, the show where we talk about new media coming out in not a lot of time.
Not just new media, new media.
Yeah, this is probably... It's been a while since we've done a first impressions of, like, anything, really. A couple months, I want to say.
Yeah.
This, of course, being of the new Disney Plus Marvel show, Moon Knight, starring Oscar Isaac as Steve Grant / Mark Spector / Moon Knight / maybe Khonshu? I don't know if he's also doing the voice of Khonshu.
I'm not sure.
But basically, to not go into too much details, Steve Grant is a museum gift shop employee. Which, man, his boss sucks. If I could just...
Oh my god, his boss fucking made me want to jump off a building.
There's someone who works in retail. But basically, he's suffering from insomnia, he's suffering from sleepwalking, where he gets up and seems to disappear, like to the point where he has to like strap himself into bed. He has sand sprayed out so that he can see footprints and like tape on the door to see if he's left. Well, eventually, at one point, he starts having dreams where he's been in front of like dangerous mercenaries and also killed people, and seems to be slipping in and out of conscience. Eventually, it's revealed that he has a split personality known as Mark Spector, aka the Fist of Khonshu, Moon Knight. And that's the basic premise of the episode. So going in, I should point out, neither of us are really like huge Moon Knight people.
I've honestly God never read a single thing that he's in.
Yeah, I think the most I've ever read is like maybe some Avenger tie-ins where he shows up. But as a whole, I don't know a lot about Moon Knight. I know stuff from the run that they're basing this on, which is the 2014 run with Dr. Moon Knight, where they finally just admitted that Moon Knight is actually not multiple people, but instead one person with split personality disorder, or associative identity disorder, if we're being technical. So yeah, going in though, I was kind of interested because he's like Batman in like terms of like the costume and like the street level stuff he deals with, but as a whole, I was kind of interested. And of course, the episode came out yesterday at the time of this recording. And
Well, actually on Wednesday.
Wednesday, because it was March 30th. Actually, it was 30th. That's right. But now it is April 1st. Also, we're filming this the afternoon before Morbius.
It can't be Sunday. Can't be. What do you mean?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, what do you mean? It can't be Sunday.
Oh, yeah. As a whole, what did you think about it?
I liked it. If not, I thought it was a little hard to follow. And
I will agree with you on that.
Okay, so it wasn't just...
No.
Because I was worried, I'm like, oh god, my ADHD is just going ape shit trying to follow this.
Given the fact that, like, we only see from Steve's point of view, or Steven's point of view, like, it's really frustrating to, like... Because, like, you're watching it, and then he'll black out, and all of a sudden, like, people are dead, and, like...
People are shooting at him, he's driving.
And then he passes out, and all of a sudden the car crashes, or, like, a bunch of logs fall. The other thing is they do a lot to play with, like, clearly, like, Steve is not seeing things, because, like, Khonshu and Mark are, like, messing with his mind. Well, probably not messing, but they're, like, trying to, like, repress him, basically.
Yeah.
Then the fact that, like, even right away, you can clearly tell, like, there's gaps in his memory, that like, he asked that woman out, and, like, he doesn't remember doing it. And clearly that was Mark who did it.
Yeah.
But, then, like, even the way it opens with the villain of the piece, and he's, like, fucking breaking shot glasses and putting them into his sandals.
Yeah, I was like, all to the tune of, Bob Dylan's Grain of Sand. I'm like, Jesus, man.
No.
Never did I ever expect a Bob Dylan song to be in a Marvel thing.
But, like, and to be fair, I don't think it's bad that it's hard to follow, because the whole point is it's trying to get you what it would be like if you were in Steve's shoes. Because, like, he clearly blacks out and has, like, no memory of things that happens. And then even sometimes he'll wake up partway through and he won't have any memories of what's going on. Although, admittedly, towards the end it got a little ridiculous, because all of a sudden a fucking werewolf shows up. Out of nowhere. Like, how does this group of bad guys just have a fucking werewolf?
Oh yeah, then as I like to dub it, my sleep paralysis demon showed up in the fucking streets at one point, and in the
Oh my God.
elevator.
I was going to say, what did you think of the design of Khonshu?
I'm like, that actually looks really decent.
No, I actually love the look of Khonshu, because like a lot of times he looks kind of doofy, but like here I actually like the idea that like he's designed to look like Moon Knight as well, because like Moonlight himself has like similar garb as him. I also, what do you think of Moon Knight's costume, where they kind of make him look like a mummy?
It looks okay.
Well, I think it's kind of.
It looks better than I thought it was going to when I heard about like what the character looked like. I was like, oh, I was concerned how they were going to pull that off.
I actually kind of like them. I actually think they should kind of do that in the actual comics, where they give him a mummy motif, seeing as how he like. His whole thing is based on Egyptian mythology.
Yeah,
because it actually explains his costume a little bit better. Although I don't like the fact that in this the costume is magical and appears on him, because like in the comics he just has a costume. It's not like he morphs into Moon Knight.
Yeah,
it makes me curious how they're going to do Dr. Moon Knight. If that's just going to be Mark Spector like as like a separate entity from him when like he's talking to Mark, but. As a whole, if you had any like issues with this, what would you say?
Just again, and the way it was kind of hard to follow at the beginning, but I don't even really want to say that's a criticism. That was just it was just hard to follow because my brain was like, okay, I got to get used to how they're telling this.
Then to be fair, I'm pretty sure once we get past this episode, they'll probably do a little bit more traditional like editing and storytelling.
Yeah,
they just wanted to give you like this mystery around the character if you've never seen him before. What'd you think of the villain in his weird power of like based on like Egyptian mythology?
He looks like somebody, and I can't place who it is. Like the way he was talking and stuff.
Yeah.
I want to say it. You know who it honestly reminds me of a little bit?
Who?
It reminds me of Peter Fonda in Ghost Rider.
God, he does have a bit of a Peter Fonda thing.
Playing Mephisto. It's that tone of voice he's using. It really reminded me of that.
Which sadly, I want to say his actress passed away just after they finished filming this.
I think he did. Yeah.
What do you think of Oscar Isaac as Moon Knight?
I thought he did a phenomenal job. Honestly, like I really like him as an actor. He was one of the good parts about the Star Wars sequel trilogy.
Yeah, he did a phenomenal job, and I actually, even though we didn't really get much of Mark in this. I actually think he did a really good job of like giving both Mark and Steve different voices, even if admittedly it's just one has an accent and one doesn't. But like it was very interesting how they did that. I'm also curious who that was on the burner phone that he had. I kind of hope it's Tigra, even though I don't think they'll do Tigra, but I kind of hope it's her just because like those two actually dated at one point, which I'm like that has to be confusing as fuck.
Yeah.
Like who am I talking to right now? It's Steve. All right, can I get Mark? I'm sorry, I'm Mark now. Oh, sorry, Steve again.
Yes.
As someone who most of his knowledge comes from Moon Knight Corps.
Thank God for the core grouping of pages on Facebook.
Yeah, but I can't believe I'm saying this. I'm really grateful. I'm a fan of Yu-Gi-Oh because I kind of know who Amit is. For those of you who don't know, Amit is the Egyptian judge of the dead. He's the god that works for Anubis. Anubis is merely the he's merely the god of the underworld. He rules over it. The idea is that Anubis is a reincarnation of the pharaoh. Like whenever the pharaoh dies, they become they become Anubis, the king of the afterlife. Whereas when they're alive, they are the manifestation of the god Horus, who is technically the god of the overworld, and also the sun god Horus. But Amit is this crocodile monster. I want to say he has the head of a crocodile, but like the body of a hippo, or something like that. But basically, what happens is Anubis will put your heart, because they actually go into this. They put the heart onto this scale that he has, which, if anyone's ever watched Yu-Gi-Oh, they actually have said scale manifested into the Millennium Scale. But basically, he puts your heart on one side of the scale, and he puts this feather that's like, it is like made of like pure goodness, and if your heart is heavier than the feather, you are sent to like the bad underworld. If your heart is good, you get to go to the good afterworld. That's actually what his powers are based on.
Oh, I know this. I know Egyptian stuff.
I
I know, but you were like looking at me. I'm like, I know this.
Well, no, I just you looked up, so I like. Because sometimes I don't like just staring at the camera.
Oh, so now you think I'm stupid?
No, I don't think you're fucking stupid.
I see how it is.
Cool. And if I thought you were fucking stupid, I wouldn't have you as my co-host on this.
I don't know, man. Maybe you're just dedicated to the joke.
Cool. You're looking like a werewolf right now.
Yeah, I'm taken as a joke.
Which I actually love that part with the werewolf. Like he's like about to kill Steve, and then the dude turns into Moon Knight, and the werewolf's like trying to scrabble out the door.
He's like, where you go?
No, where you go?
There goes a trash bag.
Yeah. The only other thing if I were to have any complaints with this episode was the CG on the log truck when that thing falls. I'm like, wow, that is really blatantly obvious.
See, I didn't notice that at all, honestly.
It's really subtle, but like there's like when the logs fall, you can see like the CGI like sheen to them. I just think that probably
I just didn't notice it. I mean,
No,
I'd have to actually go back and look at it.
That's like the only CG issue I had with this. Because overall, like the CG on Moon Knight and the werewolf look fantastic. And I even like the effects they did for the tattoo on the dude's arm.
Yeah.
But otherwise, yeah, that's more or less all I have to really say. Are you looking forward to watching the rest of this one that comes out, or?
Yeah, like I said, I'm enjoying it so far.
Yeah. I mean, I am curious to see what exactly the plot is. I know it has something to do with that scarab thing Mark stole, but I'm curious what more we're going to get. I'm also curious if we're going to like get any more out of Khonshu, just because like I honestly wonder if because from what I can gather, I think the idea is that like Khonshu is like the antithesis of whatever god the cult is like for.
Mm-hmm.
So I clearly think something is up there, and he wants to put a stop to it, or have his fist.
Also, I found this while I was on break. Mm-hmm. Apparently, oh, sorry. Don't know
sorry, we just had lunch before we filmed this.
My sinuses have been killing me, so like I'm not surprised my sinuses are draining.
Well, then like McDonald's fries makes me Flemish after we eat them.
The show's first episode got 1-star review bombed by Turkey because they were mad about the Armenian genocide reference in the show, and they claimed it was propaganda. Because remember, Turkey denies it exists.
Oh my god!
I was like, if it doesn't exist, why are you review bombing the show? That doesn't make any sense. If it didn't happen and you're innocent, why are you doing this? I mean, that doesn't make sense.
I kind of get it because, like, for one, he didn't mention Taiwan because, you know, we have to pander to China with these shows because.
But yeah, I noticed that, and like I was like, why did? And I looked it up and I was like, oh yeah, they did mention that.
Yeah, which, and to be fair, it's not like it was propaganda. They're just mentioning.
Well, no, Turkey doesn't like you to even mention it.
I mean, fair.
Like Turkey flat out is like, no, it never happened.
Well, that's fair, but I'm just trying to explain to the audience, like, clearly that's not what actual.
It's like a throwaway
line.
It's lumped in there with Hitler and Pol Pot.
Yeah, yeah, like it's just talking about tragedies that has befallen the planet. Like,
yeah, I'm just like, Jesus.
I'm also curious if this is going to tie into Multiverse of Madness, given that Khonshu is
maybe, I'm not sure,
a god. But I mean,
at this point, who isn't rumored to be in Multiverse of Madness?
Well, I only say that just because, like, clearly this show is dealing with mystical stuff. So, like, I wonder if that means, like, we're going to, like, maybe have, like, some tie-in to Doctor Strange, but as a whole, I don't know, because if I remember correctly, I think in the comics it's dubious whether or not Khonshu's actually a real god or not. Because, like, for most people, they're like, are you sure Khonshu's just not, like, one of your different personalities, Mark? But
no, he's like calm.
He's like,
he does not grant any favors.
I do like that part where he's like, Mark, if you do not wake up right now, I swear I will kill you. Oh god, the idiot's back. That was like my favorite part when Khonshu was just talking to Steve,
just like flat out talking shit.
Yeah.
So overall, how would you rank the first episode? We'll go with out of 5 because it's only the first episode.
I'd probably give it a 3 out of 5. It's pretty solid. But I can understand why, like, people would have a hard time getting into this just because of how obtuse it is.
Yeah, 3 out of 5 is going to be right where I am, just for that same reason. Like I said, I feel bad even. I don't even know whether to say it's an actual criticism or it's just, again, for me it was hard to follow. Because
No,
I'm sure there was some that this was easy as hell to follow for everybody.
Yeah, I mean, I followed it pretty well, but after a while, sometimes I would just be like there were a couple points where I'm like, can we just get on with this? I think a part of it was I got tired of seeing Steve just be a doormat the entire fucking time. Like, can we get to the part where he's Mark and like fighting werewolves and like crazy cultists in his sweet looking costume? But overall, I definitely think it's still pretty good. But like, if I were to compare it to like, say, the first episode of WandaVision or Winter Soldier, Falcon and Winter Soldier, I don't know if it would really and this is me like reviewing it from like someone who's casually watching these.
Yeah.
Like, if it were someone who's not really into Moon Knight and you decide to sit down and watch this episode, you're gonna be
fucking
lost to the point where you might not want to keep watching.
Yeah.
But overall, I do think it's very good, and I think it's definitely one of the more interesting first episodes. I will say it's probably more interesting than like Falcon and the Winter Soldier, because Falcon and Winter Soldier's first episode's pretty standard.
Was a slow burn.
Not really a slow burn, but it was definitely like pretty standard TV.
Yeah.
Like I actually argue it's a little bit closer to WandaVision in how like it's very confusing and odd, but like it draws you in.
Yeah.
But overall, I definitely think I would rate it higher than probably the first episode of Loki, but that's mostly just because like the first episode of Loki is purely there just to get Loki caught up to where he was in Endgame.
Yeah.
But overall, I would say this was a pretty good episode, and I'm looking forward to seeing the rest of it. So look forward to when we actually do the Hyphen episode where we review the entire thing. But yeah, overall, I'd say that's probably about it. You got any?
Nope, whatever.
All right. Well, anyway, guys, we got to get back from lunch so that we can finish the workday and go see Morbius.
Oh yeah.
So
the boys had their cinema with Batman. Now it's time for the men to have the cinema. That meme killed the shit out of me when I found it. I think I sent it to you and I'm like, LOL, what is this?
Yeah.
Who thinks this?
But anyway, guys, look forward to that review too. We're going to have 2 hyphenated reviews in a row.
But until then, guys, I'm Average Joe Squad.
And I'm Zong Gets to 134.
And as always,
we ask you,
remember the hyphen
and take care.